I know what you're thinking, that title can't be true. That title must be an exaggeration. No, that's actually not the case. Welcome everyone to another YouTube video featuring the Cumans. Now, I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know if you're a dedicated follower of myself in Age of Empires, or if you're coming in from a different YouTuber. Spiffing Brit and I recently collabed, or I joined him on his channel with an Age of Empires 2 video. When I say recently, I think I'm uploading this literally seconds after he uploads his. So many people who might be seeing this have actually seen Spiffing Brit's video, and I'm going to have that in the video description of mine for those who haven't seen it. But anyways, Spiffing Brit and I highlighted the exploits of Age of Empires 2 DE, and we highlighted just how broken and overpowered the Cumans are in Age of Empires 2. Now, I happen to know, and you guys might have seen the announcement, that the Cumans are going to be nerfed this week. Yes, that's right. We might not see everyone spam pick Cumans anymore. So this this game from a month ago, I figured should see YouTube. That way we can see what the Cumans were all about in all their glory. I also am using this as one of my 12 Days of Christmas, or 12 Ages of Christmas, or whatever, videos, where I'm saying something I'm thankful for. I'm going to do that near the end, because I know you guys want to see the action. So, we're 37 minutes into this game. I decided to start you guys here. Everyone is in the Imperial Age. Spring, who is a high-level player, who's very good friends with Matt Salsa, as am I. Spring is the Cumans, and Matt Salsa is playing as the Mongols, and right now, Matt is making a lot of Mangudai. Mangudai are insanely strong, and Matt is actually fighting 1v2 right now against the enemy Cumans, Kipchaks, and the enemy Franks Cavalier. Now, Munchies and Aberg weren't quite as experienced, but you will see that Munchies is making the Kipchak, which is one of the OP units for the Cumans, and Spring is now joining in with the Steppe Lancer. Now, I'm going to just play the game, and, well, we're going to see 200 Steppe Lancers in this game. Now, if you can't already tell, Red and Yellow don't really seem to have the numbers that they need. The Spring is a veteran player, and he's a big boomer, as they say. He has a decent amount of water control on this side. He has fish traps, and right now he's looking at 108 villagers. So the economy's looking pretty good. Matt, he hasn't clicked Elite Mangudai yet, or at least the upgrade hasn't come in, but he has 30 Mangudai here. And Spring, he has 36 Steppe Lancers. So I love the fact that Red and Yellow are trading. This is something that some players will be too confident to do. Spring, for example, he is not trading at all. All of his farms are expiring right now, and it's making me sad. But anywho, it's something that Spring and Matt would normally do, but they're deciding to invest all the gold they have currently into military, which is what's going to make this game pretty exciting. But the best thing to do in late game Age of Empires 2 is build some markets in the corners, get the trade running, and there's Yellow bringing in 82 gold back to his market from each trade cart. That is a lot of gold. And they will need that gold long term, because this is going to be quite a long match. And sometimes in more competitive matches, the team with the trade is the team that holds on to win the game because of the amount of gold that they will have. Now, something you need to know about Steppe Lancers... Oops, I didn't mean to speed it up like that, sorry. Something you need to know about Steppe Lancers is they only cost... Well, they cost 70 food, which is pretty high, but they only cost 30 gold. So, you know, it's quite easy to make a lot of them without trade. And Spring has 2,500 gold right now. He has 92 military. Now, if you look at Spring's base, things are looking pretty good for him. Nothing's out of the ordinary yet. Alright? He has about 15 to 20 units queued up. Matt still lacking a few upgrades. Wow, look at that. Mangudai was dancing. But you saw the title of the video. You know what Spring is going to try and do. And if you keep an eye on this Vill number here, you'll notice it starts to go down a little bit. That is because Spring... Well, actually, I think it's because he lost villagers. But, he's going to try something out for us. Now, Red... Oops, I'm sorry. Again, I am just awful at this. Red has Paladins, credible Paladins, and then Yellow has Elite Kipchaks. So we're seeing the best of both worlds from the Cumans. Look at the numbers that Spring has here, though. It's crazy how many Steppe Lancers he has, And it's amazing how many look at that! That's 60 units, did you see that? They were stacked on top of like 3 tiles, it's incredible. Well, anyways, Matt and Spring are sticking together wonderfully, and it really feels like it's impossible to fight this combination. The Spring is just having a field day. These units move so fast. Their bloody pointy sticks are chewing up the TC. And they'll chew up the Paladins too. This unit was never meant to counter Paladins. It counters everything. Sure, there's more numbers, but look how quickly the Paladins melt. These are the best Paladins in the game. That's ridiculous. And now with a fight like that, Spring is going to find himself a bit of confidence. A bit of overconfidence, possibly. His teammate, Matt Salsa, has 60 elite Mangudai. Himself, he has 97 Steppe Lancers. But that's not enough. And if you look at his eco, it begins. He's deleting his farmers. He's deleting lumberjacks. Slowly but surely. He wants 200 population. Yeah. It's a bit ballsy, isn't it? Because if that 200 population doesn't win the game, he will have literally 0 resources in the bank. Or maybe not literally 0 resources, but he will have literally 0 resources coming in. That's for sure. So they kind of just left Red's base. They're running over here. It seems like they are unstoppable, honestly. Look at Spring's economy. See that number going down. You see the farmers getting deleted. Can Spring get to 200 Steppe Lancers? He can. And he will. And here they come. Now, you will never see this in an ultra-competitive game because it's silly. You need economy to back things up. But Spring, he might be a high-level player, but he wants to have some fun. In fact, I think he'd had a few. But gaming is supposed to be fun, and Cumans, well, they're not fun to play against, I guess. But they can be fun. Yellow is pretty much doing all the work on his own now. Red is at 109 population. He doesn't seem to have much at all. In fact, I mean, they could have wiped up Red if they wanted to. But Spring, he's doing this for the tube. He's doing this for YouTube. He's doing this for the fans. He's deleting everything he can find. Every single villager he will delete. Now, if you look bottom right, it says that he has 175 cavalry and 7 warships. So he has to get rid of the warships. He has to get rid of, I saw a fishing ship yet. Here they come. Now, I'm going to show you a clip from Spring's stream at some point during this video. But Spring was like, Matt, I'm doing it. And Matt's like, no. Matt's like, no, please don't do it. Spring's like, nope, I'm doing it. I'm going for 200. There's no way we can lose. Matt stumbles in here. He's probably saying, well, Spring, the Cuman guy has a whole lot of trade. We don't have any trade. The Cuman player has gold. The Cuman player is actually making onagers with those kip checks. But anyways, back to Spring. This is important. Spring has, wait for it, 200. 200. He's done it. Now you can only group up 60 at a time, so he has to have 4 control groups. And here he goes, 200 Steppe Lancers, as all in as it can get, really. Matt was pretty happy with his Mangudai. He said Mangudai are OP, but guys, you know what else is OP? Kip checks, siege onagers. Cumans get the second TC and Fuel Age. They get the Steppe Lancers, they get the kip checks, but they also get siege onager. And oftentimes people forget about that. I don't think siege onager is going to be all that wonderful against this many Steppe Lancers. But maybe the Mangudai, and I don't see Matt where he needs to be. Matt is over here. Probably because Spring says, I've got this. Look at him! Look at him melt a castle! And not just any old castle, a castle which has masonry with extra HP. Poke, 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 poke. But oh wait, Spring is at 165 population. He will not have any more units. Oh my god. He'll have no more units after this, so he has to kill. He has to finish the game. Look at this. Look at this madness. He's in the trade, poking away at these poor trade carts. Yeah, I'm sure that Palisade Gate is going to do an awful lot for you there, Munchies. Spring has 145 left. Still think it's fine. He didn't finish off the castles. I think that was a big mistake from him. Finishing off the castles would have really helped. And possibly some overconfidence. And Yellow is making sure that he can keep these Kipchaks alive. Hitting and running, hitting and running, hitting and running. Matt Salsa, Spring's teammate. He's over here chilling out. He's trying to make sure Red doesn't reboom. Spring is at 108 population. Now, Spring's population is only 27 above Red. And Red at least has economy. So this is looking increasingly more worrying for Spring and for Matt Salsa. Especially when Yellow gets on top of a hill with the Kipchaks like this, you'll see that Spring Steppe Lancers, while they are strong, they're getting melted by another OP unit. 70 population for Spring. It's a wasteland. He doesn't even have food to create a single vill. He can't create a single villager. And sure, Yellow's population isn't great. It's only 123, but he has resources. He can create stuff. He can create more units when he loses them. And so he will just hit and run, hit and run, hit and run, hit and run. Red's coming to contribute. Matt has just sent some food to Spring. And we'll wait a couple seconds until I show you Spring's clip. He was on Discord with Matt Salsa after this. And still, Red is losing population, right? But Spring has less population than him. Matt does have the most population by far, 160. Yellow's only at 120. This is all Spring has. The Mangadai come in, though. This is good teamwork. This is probably what needed to happen before. But it's 60 Kipchaks, 60 Mangadai, and 30 Steppe Lancers. I feel like these Kipchaks are going to hold their own. The Spring is at only 38 population. So he's starting to create new villagers. So I just want to show you what Spring's reaction was when he realized that he had goofed up. All right, this is a clip from his stream. It's a little bit loud. Again, Spring is a wild one. But this was his conversation with Matt at that very moment, or right before all of that happened.
I need food so I can make... I'm dead! Matt, I'm dead! Matt, I'm dead!
Spring, if this backfires, I'm gonna be so...
I'm dead!
I just love how Matt is rolling his eyes verbally. Like, did you really? Did you really do that? Oh, man. So, yeah, Matt sent whatever food he had. Like, he doesn't have much food at all over here because his eco was just set up for wood and gold for Mangadai. He sent whatever food he had to Spring. And Spring will, I guess, invest that into villagers. But as it currently stands, Spring is at 39 population. It's pretty much all Steppe Lancers. Matt is at 168, and the Munchies is at 156. I actually can't believe that didn't work. I really think Spring should have taken out the castles, but kudos to Yellow for keeping production up and also microing those Kipchaks. I think against any other civ but Cumans, they would not have been able to hold against the Cuman horde of Steppe Lancers. Now Red, I mean, yes, his population's a bit higher than Spring, but his eco is a whole lot less secure. And he just lost that castle on the hill. He has idols, and also I think the important thing here is that there's no longer safe trade for Red and Yellow. Their trade carts, or Yellow's trade carts, are just sitting here. He can't be trading anymore. Yeah, the reason I wanted to speed up the early game, Spring and Matt were ahead. Had they played this serious, they would have won the game easily, and Spring wanted to try something different. It's actually not the best way to show you how overpowered these Steppe Lancers are. Maybe shows you how strong the Kipchaks are, but this will be cool. Watch this. Poke. A few pokes and Red's Town Center will go right down. But hold on a second. Spring has left his teammate. He's poked the TC down. And Matt needs to be here. And there he is. So, you will hopefully see some markets up eventually. Oh, Spring's making more fishing ships for his fish traps, which he left there before, which is hilarious. But yeah, I mean, they're going to need some type of gold. This is so many Kipchaks from Yellow, but I think he should have committed to that fight. He pulled back, and look at these Kipchaks roar. Matt does have the hill, but look at the firing. Look at the difference in the firing rate between the Kipchak and the Mangudai. The Kipchaks fire instantly, and Mangudai, they used to be kind of like the Kipchak back in Classic AOC, but they got nerfed for good reason, and Mangudai are still one of the best post-imp units. It's amazing that it was ever stronger than that. Well, we'll be saying the same about the Cumans, I'm sure, in a few years. I'm actually sick of them at this point. Like, when the nerf comes out, I don't even want to try the new Cumans. I guess it's because I'm full-time Age of Empires 2, and that's all I've seen. If you've been watching my streams on YouTube, it's just, we've been on a no Cuman. I've been casting with a no Cuman rule, where I would not cast anyone who's blood Cumans, because, well, have some self-respect, why don't you? Matt's population is 170, and the population for Munchies is 170, and it's 92 military for Munchies, including siege onagers, so Matt really needs to be careful here. Now, Munchies is I think, the lower-rated player between the two of them, and Matt, he has safe economy, and that's always huge. He actually found some extra gold there. Spring has gold over here. Oh, he didn't scout his gold. What a noob. But he's rebooming. He's creating more vills and trying to get his eco up and running. Well, while we wait to see where this game goes from here, because it could swing back into anyone's control, I just want to take a moment to say what I'm thankful for, because I am doing that 12 videos in a row, 12 casts in a row, because I am, I'm going home for Christmas and stacking up some content, and I guess I was thinking about this before recording this. I think the big thing that I'm really thankful for is how kind other communities have been to the Age of Empires community, or I guess specifically how kind communities have been towards me when stumbling upon me. There's a big YouTuber named Wellen who makes amazing content with Rust. He stops by my stream. He's super cool. Actually, really inspiring with the way he makes content. I have some ideas along those lines. Oh, Matt, don't do this. Matt, don't do this. Oh, God! Okay, that was actually pretty good micro. Spiffing Brit and I, we collabed, which is just amazing to collab with someone who's as successful as he is. He's a great, great guy, by the way. Super cool. Kit Boga, you know Kit Boga? I mean, these people are from completely different games. They make completely different types of content. Kit Boga does scam baiting. Wallen does Rust videos for the most part. And Spiffing Brit does, well, he abuses exploits. But anyways, like, I'm just a guy who talks about an old game. That's the way I see it. And it's been really cool to be able to interact with people from different communities. And so that's one thing I'm super thankful for leading up to the end of the year. My channel has certainly benefited from exposure these other communities have given me, and I know the Age of Empires 2 community in general has. So, and that's pretty much it. I'll leave it at that before it gets too feelsy. But Red just hasn't been able to recover like Spring. Spring, it's incredible. He went from 30 population to 130 in just a couple minutes. There's a market, so he will begin some trade, and he found this gold, I guess. Matt has also been sending him some food. Yeah, typically you had the trade earlier, as I said, but Spring said, nope, I want 200 Steppe Lancers. If Munchies wasn't making Kip checks, and if Munchies didn't have the resources to do so, I think it would have been a very different story. But maybe Spring should have gone for the castles, you know? Because at least then you lose your units, you take out 2 castles. That's not easy to replenish if you're Yellow. I see Yellow made some fire ships and has taken out some of Spring's fishing economy. And I think right now, Matt, yeah, you see the trade begin. Matt and Spring are just waiting till their trade eco kicks in. Then they'll have some gold. And Spring even sees the stone there. And he says, okay, I'll take that. I know that Spring has had gold here, which he hasn't been able to collect, but he's doing that now. So Spring basically needs to get his eco back up and then repop with Steppe Lancers. And normally you want about anywhere from 100 to 120 villagers in post-imp. Now, if you have trade cards, probably more like 80 villagers and then 40 trade cards would be the ideal number. It does depend on what you're going for. And like for Elite War Elephants, for example, with Persians, you would need a whole bunch of farmers. Yellow's just been camping this side. This map is Highland. It can be very campy due to the fact that there's only a few crossings. And Matt Salsa runs in right as Yellow runs out. I don't know if he knew anything about that. And Spring, beautiful shot, but Spring has only light cav to engage against, oh, now Hussar to engage against the Siege Onagers. So that's a bit sloppy from Yellow. Now, Spring was running in. This is what Yellow was responding to, and Matt is running in behind these Kipchaks. Yellow, unfortunately, is kind of on his own right now. Red is not able to help. Beautiful work from Spring and Matt to deal damage on the right, and Matt is just chasing the Kipchaks as Spring is running into Yellow's economy with a mix of Hussars and Lancers. They might not have the gold yet for full Lancer again, but the Hussars and Lancers, they're just streaming in. Now this is more of the push that you should do if you're not going for the memes. You will see that Yellow and Red are starting to trade again, though. Not for very long. It's amazing how Spring was able to recover there, isn't it? And already his population's back up to 160. And he has those Hussars queued up. He might even just stream them right across the center on this side now. And you see the signaling. They're talking to each other. Matt's like, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go... Or sorry, Spring says, I'm going to go here. I'm going to go here. He's everywhere. Another thing about Cumans is that since their cavalry moves faster, they actually can chase trade cards and snipe them a lot faster than other units. And Mangadai, yeah, they have no problem catching up to anything. Mangadai are here. Also, I love how Matt is splitting up his group. Sometimes you send a few Mangadai here and here and here. Because you know Yellow's going to be coming in to deal with this. But the reason you get trade is so if you lose one group of military, because your opponent comes back here to clean it up, you send in another group. So if Matt just stuck around here and lost these Mangadai instead of running, I don't think running was all that necessary if he just sends in another group on this side, which he's currently doing. Red and Yellow really want to win this game, man. They obviously didn't know I'd be putting this on YouTube. Sorry, guys, but the fortified walls have even gone up on this side. And, oh, what a Siege Onager shot from Yellow. My hat goes off to Yellow, man. He's been having a whole lot of fun with the Cumans, Kipchaks, and Siege Onagers. Now, I actually have another upload this week where it was an arena game between high-level players, and it was Kipchaks versus Steppe Lancers there. Very different scenario. We did not see 200, but we got to see one pro go for just the Kipchaks and one unit just go for the Steppe Lancers. This would all be pre-nerf, of course. Highland is... There's been a lot of debate, or not so much debate, a lot of hate, actually, of Highland, because the games take so freaking long. Because of the water, it takes forever to get population across to win games. In fact, it's kind of bothering me that Spring has not just run across this way. He seems to be looping the whole way around again, but look how many docks he's built, and he's determined to just clean up the water a little bit so he can run across freely. Matt, he probably needs some rams here, but for now, he's attacking this wall with just Mangadai. Where are you, Munchies? There's Munchies. Munchies started the game. You guys missed this, but he started the game saying Spring can beat me with one hand. Because actually, Spring was AFK, and for whatever reason, Matt didn't pause for the first minute. And then Matt ended up pausing, and when Spring returned, Yellow's like, Spring, I guess, was complaining because he had an idle TC that whole time. And Yellow said, well, no worries, Spring can beat me with one hand. Well, I think Munchies has played really well. He has a lot to be proud of, man. But, the Winged Hussars and the Pokey Stick Men are here, the Steppe Lancers. The problem with hitting and running when they're pushing your base is that you're running towards your base and you're just bringing the pressure closer and closer to you. I promise that Red did a lot more in this game. It's just that he has been pushed back so far. He does not have the food to produce the paladins. Look at those kip checks, man. Now, what would perform better, 200 kip checks or 200 step lancers? Find out in the next episode of Ridiculous Scenarios We Should Never See. That's actually an idea. I mean, it's very easy content. If you're curious, I could try it. Maybe David can control one and I can control the other. I actually think that might be interesting for you guys. It might be a ridiculous change of pace. Here it is now. Here it is. Spring has how much trade? Sorry, I keep going to the wrong options here. He only has 15 trade. How much does Matt have? Matt has a whole bunch more, right? Matt has 23. You want to shoot for 40, if you're wondering. Shooting for 40 trade carts is the way to go. I guess they're still making some trades, so. Now, Spring doesn't even have his trade upgrade, so his trade is running slow as molasses. Get Caravan, my friends. It's not worth it to trade without Caravan, believe me. And so if it's okay with you guys, I guess speed it up a little bit. I had some awful insomnia lately. Like, absolutely awful insomnia. I should probably start watching my own videos, because I know a lot of you guys use me to go to sleep each night, but I think I've just been working too much, and oh my goodness, we gotta slow it down for this. Look at the Step Lancers. Yellow's Cumans, so he can run away from any bad situation, but the Step Lancers and the Mangadai are chasing. Yellow is gonna do whatever he can to delay the inevitable here, isn't he? But yeah, it's super late, man. And Matt says 11, what are you guys doing? I think Matt's implying like, hey, you guys are kind of dead. Yellow's literally just been running around in circles and sniping stuff. That's it. Matt says Red should come work for the US government. Is that because he's doing nothing? Is that the point? Ouch. Matt. That's funny. Well, I think that there's a nice little surround attempt from Spring. Oh boy, can he block these units off? There's a lot of blockage there. And Luigo says, I've never seen water in AoE, don't know what to do. Yeah, no worries, dude. Don't stress it. No, I knew going into this, and I'm sure they did. There were different skill levels. You're all the way back here. You're trading, but I don't know what his plan is. He doesn't have any working farms. Only 57 pop. I forget this, chat. I don't recall seeing this. Matt says, I was like you till I met Spring. He married me. What? I'm pretty sure Spring has a wife. So, might be some infidelity going on. That would be very much like the US government. Maybe Spring should join. Maybe that's how Matt knows. Ooh. Spring deleted all his vills and then had to reboom. No, don't tell them. Don't tell them. That is just rude, man. And Munchie says, I figured that's what happened. That's true. I think Munchie should probably know that. No surprise. Munchie's, he has resources to spare. I feel like he probably should have given some of this to Red. If they really wanted to win, why not send him that food and gold for Paladin? You're 200 pop yourself. He has so much, too. I mean, he's actually at 100... No, he's at 96. 96 cavalry. I just caught a glimpse of it there. Right? I hate having to do it this way. I hate having to do it without a proper overlay. Watch it be, like... I mean, it doesn't give me the exact stat I want. Bear with me. There we go. There we go. Doesn't give me the exact stat I want here, but he has 103 military. I wanted to see exactly how many kip checks, if possible. So, kip checks are strong. Stronger than Mangadai, I think. Steppe Lancers are strong. Basically anything Cumans make is ridiculously strong. Yellow's micro has been very good, but Spring will loop around, and he's got a full surround on these Kipchaks. That was well done, man. That was well done. I love how he's running in front to block the pathing. I'd love to see Matt follow up with some rams here. Okay, he's trebbing, and Red is walling desperately. Red is, he's the fat sub of this game. Yeah, I mean, good luck once the Steppe Lancers get into the trade at this point, right? Because Matt's fully boomed, Spring is fully boomed, Red is not. Yellow, he's probably just having a whole lot of fun. He cuts the trees where Red is chopping wood. He's trying to clean up the trade. And funny enough, he might be able to do it. Red won't be able to afford to create new trade unless Yellow sends resources. And Munchies has some quality micro yet again. This is why I decided to start the game 30 minutes in, by the way. Because I knew it was quite a long one, and I knew you guys probably wanted to see the 200 Steppe Lancers to see how it would fare. We've seen it. And we're seeing these Kipchaks absolutely own. And Steppe Lancers too. It's just amazing how quickly they kill things, and how they're able to stack. And it's tough in choke points, though, against the Kipchaks. But anytime that Spring's able to maneuver and move around a little bit, it's better for him. Yellow, what are you doing? He just killed his own units! He just killed his own units. Matt is very close to getting through. Matt, if you rewatch this, for the love of God, make a siege ram. And Yellow says, alright. You've played with your food long enough, GG. Yeah, I think he knows I can continue to drag this on a bit longer. But yeah, this game is actually over. And hey, if you're Red and you're watching this YouTube video, I apologize. I know it wasn't your best game, but don't stress it, man. Spring, he does some wacky things. And he'll do it to anybody. And that just also says sub to Spring. I don't think Spring has a YouTube channel, so I won't be able to link that, but it's twitch.tv/SpringTV if you want to check him out. So here's the Chiefs, as I say. 739 kills for Yellow. The KD was not that impressive for Yellow or Blue, but I think it's probably because they canceled each other out a little bit in those fights. Largest army? 200 for Spring. Yes, that's right. 200. Yellow had way more trade profit. He actually had more trade profit than Spring and Matt just also did combined. That's why he was able to hold on so long. And it was mainly due to that wacky situation. And look at this. This is amazing on the timeline. Check it out. We'll start with Yellow. Yellow has a base of economy. That's the light yellow. He has the military to back it up. Green has the economy. He has the military to back it up. Aberg, he has economy, not too much military to back it up. And then Spring had economy, and then whoosh, only military for maybe, what, 9 minutes, 7 minutes? I'm not exactly sure how long, but it wasn't very long. And then it just had nothing. This was when he was at 30 population. That's why the timeline looks so peculiar. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. I will be uploading a video every single day. I actually made the mistake of saying... So I'm doing this 12 days of thanks thing with my 12 days of Christmas uploads. And I made the mistake on some of the recordings I've already done of saying, this is day 2, this is day 3, this is day 4. And this is going to end up being day 2. And I think tomorrow's I'm going to say it's day 2. So... I'm no longer saying the day, but I will have 12 YouTube-only videos that are very special in different ways, 1v1s, team games, and thank you guys for hanging out with me, thank you guys for dealing with my craziness, and I hope to see you guys soon, and thanks for watching.